Do you want to speak English like a native speaker? Then you need to learn how to create liaisons between words. Hi everyone, I'm Anna. 皆さんこんにちは。ELT のアナです。今日はliaisonという英語の発音の特徴について教えたいと思います。liaison は英語では一般的にリンキングと言います。Do you want to speak English like a native speaker? Then you need to learn how to create liaisons between words. Liaisons are more commonly known in English as linking, and the linguistics term is connected speech. Linking is how we connect words when we speak to make one word flow into the next to help us speak more smoothly. Do you ever find native English speakers difficult to understand? It might not just be because they're speaking fast. It might be because they're linking words together and changing the sounds. When practicing linking, we must focus on the last sound of one word and the first sound of the next word. These are the sounds that will be linked together. There are a few different types of linking, and it all depends on what kind of sounds are being linked. If you learn how to recognize and use linking, it will really help you understand native English speakers, and you will sound more fluent and natural. So, let's begin the lesson. First of all, how do we link consonant sounds to vowel sounds? When one word ends with a consonant sound and the next word begins with a vowel sound, we connect the two sounds together without a pause in between. Okay, so for example, stop it, stop it. So the words stop and it are linked together. We don't say stop it with a gap in between. We link them together and say stop it. This technique is known in linguistics as catenation. Here are a few more examples that are used every day in English. I give up. Did you notice how the words give and up are linked? We don't say give up, we say give up. I give up. Here's another one. Shake it. Shake it. You might recognize that one from the song, Shake It Off. Well, you might have noticed the way that shake and it are linked together. So we don't say shake it, we say shake it. Shake it off. Shake it off. Okay? One more. I need it. We don't say need it, we say need it. Did you hear the difference? Now you try. Need it. Sometimes this is also described as the consonant jumping from the end of the first word to the beginning of the second word. And thinking of it that way might help you. So, instead of saying stop it, you say stop it. Stop it. Instead of saying give up, you say give up. Give up. Instead of saying shake it, you say shake it. Shake it. This is a really good way to practice, and you can get used to linking naturally if you practice this method. Okay, so that was linking consonant to a vowel. What about a consonant to a consonant? This all depends on which consonant sounds are present. If the two consonant sounds being linked are the same, we simply treat it as one lengthened sound. For example, some money. Some ends with the M sound and money begins with the M sound, so we just hold that for a moment and link the words together. So we don't say some money, we say some money, some money. Here are some other examples. Start time. Not start time, start time. You hold it there. Start time. Okay, so here's another one. This Saturday. Again, we hold this sound to link it together. This Saturday. This Saturday. What's the start time for the meeting this Saturday? What's the start time for the meeting this Saturday? In linguistics, this is called delayed plosion. Let's see if you can hear the difference. Red dye, red eye. Red dye, red eye. So that's red dye, as in dyeing clothes red, and red eye, as in a red eye. Can you hear the slight delay in the first one? Listen one more time. Red dye, red eye. Red dye, red eye. In theory, this shouldn't be too difficult for a Japanese speaker to master, because it's actually very similar to the little tsu used in Japanese. So these are both examples of double consonants. For example, think of the Japanese car company Nissan. That double S is the same sound as the one we find in this Saturday. Listen. Nissan. This Saturday. Nissan. This Saturday. Can you hear the similarity? Try this one. As soon as possible. Now this is a very useful phrase in English, but to say it like a native speaker, you have to link as and soon together. Just imagine there's a little t between the two words. As soon. As soon. As soon as possible. Good. Let's try another one. Compare the Japanese word kekkon to the English phrase make cake. Kekkon, make cake. Kekkon, make cake. I make cakes in my spare time. You see, although they are not exactly the same, it's a very similar concept of holding the sound. So hopefully, this comparison will help you recognize and use this form of linking. Also, this rule applies when the two consonants being linked are similar. For example, voiced and unvoiced pairs. Now, you may find this terminology confusing, but in Japanese, there is a very clear distinction between voiced and unvoiced sounds, using the 10-10 marker. Think ka, ga, shi, ji, to, do. This is unvoiced and voiced. When we have a pair of unvoiced and voiced consonants together, we link them just as we would link two of the same consonant, by holding the sound. Listen to these examples. Cheese sandwich. Job posting. If you listen carefully, you can hear the z in cheese and the s in sandwich blend together. Cheese sandwich. Similarly, in job posting, the b sound is lost with a pause before the p sound. Job posting. The two similar consonants combine into one. Okay then, what about when the two consonants are completely different? Well, in this case, we blend the two words together as one word. For example, let's look at the word assessment compared to the two words promise me. If you listen, you'll notice that the blending of the s with the is identical. Assessment, promise me. Assessment, promise me. Although this seems like the most simple consonant combination, it might be the hardest one for Japanese speakers because of the rarity of two consonant sounds together in Japanese. So let's go back to that useful phrase, as soon as possible. But this time let's focus on as and possible. As possible. As possible. Can you hear they blend together like one word? That sp sound is key. Sp. As possible. As soon as possible. Then we use the consonant vowel technique to link soon with as that we talked about earlier. Soon as. Okay, so remember, like we discussed earlier, pretend the consonant n has jumped from the end of soon to the beginning of as. Soon as. Soon as. Okay, now let's practice each link in this phrase together one more time. As soon. As soon. Soon as. Soon as. As possible. As possible. Okay, now put them together. As soon as possible. As soon as possible. There you go. Now you have one perfectly linked expression. Well done. Okay, so lastly, let's move on to vowel-vowel linking. So when the first word ends with a vowel sound and the next word begins with a vowel sound, we add another sound in to link it together. The sound we add depends on which vowel sounds we are using. So, let's listen to this example. Yes, I am. Did you hear how I and am are connected? Yes, I am. It's a y sound. We don't say I am, we say I am. If the first word ends with the sound I, E, or A, then the linking sound is y. Here are some more examples. Try again. Not try again, try again. We can try again tomorrow. He ate. Not he ate, he ate. He ate the last biscuit. What other sounds do we add when linking two vowel sounds? Listen to this example. Go ahead. Can you hear which sound is added between the two words? Go ahead. It's actually a W sound, w. I'll say it slowly. Go ahead. Not go ahead, go ahead. So we use the W as a linking sound if the first word ends with O or U. You might be wondering, why y and why w? Well, there is actually a reason. If you watched our video on articles, you'll remember that I said the reason we need to use the article an is to make our speaking smoother and clearer. Saying an apple is much easier than saying a apple. Well, this is the exact same idea. And in fact, we use this technique in fluent English all the time. Just think about the shape of your mouth. When you say E or A, you end up with a wide mouth shape like this, E, A. So then when you go on to say another vowel, your mouth naturally makes the y sound, which starts with the same wide shape. I am hungry. Try a different method. She is a doctor. But when you say O or U, you end up with this round mouth shape, O, U. So your mouth naturally makes a w sound, which starts with that same round shape. So it makes sense to say, go ahead, no idea. So this is just something that's developed naturally in the English language. And in linguistics, this is known as intrusion. Also, in British English, there is actually one more sound we do sometimes add with a vowel-to-vowel linking, and that's the R sound, r. So in our previous video about pronouncing L and R, I explained that in British English, we don't usually pronounce the letter R at the end of words. So while an American might say far, a British person would usually say far, ending the word with the vowel sound R. However, when a word ending with an R is followed by a word beginning with a vowel sound, we do pronounce the R in this special case. For example, far away, for a while, a star is born. Do you hear that the linking sound is added in between? So, those are some of the main linking techniques used in fluent English. If you use these, you will sound more natural. Linking is not about speaking fast, it's about speaking smoothly and fluently. I want you to listen out for these techniques in real life and use them to improve your listening comprehension skills and practice saying them out loud to improve your speaking skills. Well done, and thanks so much for watching. You can watch this video as many times as you want and keep practicing these techniques. If there are any other difficult parts of English you'd like me to teach you, or if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We'll have many more videos coming out soon, and they're all made especially for Japanese people. Thanks again. Bye!